Hello, this is Lara Law, student number 50367001. This is SIT112 High Distinction Task 1. The data science that I worked on was analysing YouTube video data from news publishers, as you can see written above there, of the 4 news channels. It was for Fox News, BBC News, CNN and MSNBC. And you can see the channel IDs there. Firstly, I collected the data, then I cleaned it, I prepared it, and then I used sentiment analysis looking at the text polarity of positive, negative, or neutral categories, and I used visualization tool word clouds. I used the collect notebook here. This was the file that I used to collect the data. So I created a Google Cloud Console profile. I obtained an API which communicated with the YouTube servers. Then I generated an API key and I placed that in credentials INI here that you can see. And this gave me the permission I needed from the YouTube servers to be able to extract the YouTube data, and then that was saved into 2 files, videos CSV and comments CSV. So from there I cleaned the data. So let's have a quick look down here to see there's the code that was used, that was provided. This was mainly date, time and duration information, which was useful, and then I further enhanced the data cleaning by a few different things here, so I'll show you that. So I cleaned the text from the URLs, HTML tags and emojis for normalization, helping with text analysis and plotting. Then I further did that with, I normalized the text. There we've got with making everything lowercase as well as removing the white strip. And then I also created a copy of the data frame in case anything happened to it, which I did here with videos copy, comments copy. There is my data frame, and that's reading the CSV file. So let's go down further and have a look at what else I've been doing here. I have decided to choose the question E.3, and I chose that particularly because I felt that it was more challenging and that it would reflect my skill level better. And also I've never worked with word cloud before, so I thought that would be a good chance to learn about that. Now, in the question just above in D.3, this is where I created some code to return a sentiment polarity score and a sentiment category, positive, negative or neutral. Now the code was already provided here, but this was using text blob. Now I chose Vader in the end because I also thought it would be a chance to showcase my skill a bit better. So what I did at the top here of the file was I imported the get sentiment score. Now I could only do that by creating a text file, a script file in fact, to be able to communicate with that code. So I did that here, and so you've got different things going on. This is part of the NLTK library. So I downloaded Veda from in here, but also I have the dictionary for Veda Dictionary, which is a sentiment analysis tool. It shows here that there's compound value of -1 to +1, and of course you can't see it there, but there's also meant to be a 0 in the analysis, not in the code, which represents neutral. Then you've got positive, then you've got neutral, then you've got negative. So this code is saying, please analyze the data based on these thresholds. And so that brings me to the next bit. So I ended up choosing Veda because I felt that it was a better analysis of the social media and informal text, and it handles punctuation and capitalization better. So let's have a look now at the next part, which is the code that helps prepare the polarity. So I have this code in here that you can see, which is the analyzer of the polarity scores, and there are the thresholds for that you can see just in there with compound, positive, neutral or negative, and they will match with what's in that script file there in helpers. All right, now so we go further down and we have a look. We've got a code here for the score and the category. Before, what was in here provided was just 2 different functions, but I've now made it into one, and there you can see some thresholds again. So that's everything there. And also this last one here is the category, categorizing of the sentiment, showing the Veda thresholds there to show which category it belongs to depending on the thresholds that it meets. So that's all good. All right, so let's get down to E.3. So here we have the information and the code. So this code here, it creates numerical scores into categories. So that's what that is doing there with categorized sentiment score, which I spoke about earlier when I was talking about preparing the data and cleaning. So therefore, you've got all that kind of information. You've also got the word clouds. I was just going to show that. Just got to find that. There you've got the common to all sentiments. You want to have non-distinctive words, so that's what that's telling to filter out. And then I've aggregated the sentiment at a video level. Video comments are averaged and they're grouped by video ID. So that kind of covers everything there. Here we've got the word clouds. It's a white background with the 3 categories, positive, negative and neutral, side by side. You've got the colors, you've got all of the information there that you need. Alrighty, so let's have a quick look there. There is what I've printed. So I used that at the top there to print the information down there, just showing the numerical values. So you can kind of compare that. You'll see there that it's negative, negative, negative. Everything was negative mainly because we're looking at the space of COVID-19 timeline, but you can see there's my actual visualization word cloud, and you'll see there that that's the biggest words are the most common. So having a quick look at the you see there we've got the 10 distinctive words by sentiment. So my observation with that word Focky, that is the Chief Medical Advisor to President Biden at the time of COVID-19, which appeared most in negative and second most in neutral, and not at all in positive, showing that he created a lot of emotive discussion and was a target for people to vent their negative frustrations during COVID. And of course, as I showed, all of the comments are negative that have the highest rating. It was dominating crisis-focused language, and it had like death and forky, whereas positive comments showed hope, and the top rating word there you can see is fight. There is also the word there, Tucker, which was a Fox News host, but it's interesting that he had a vaccine skepticism, and I initially had done my word cloud in text blob. So you see here, this is the Vader one, but I'd actually see here done it as text blob initially, and it's interesting how the words are quite different sometimes, although Forky is still there, but Taka doesn't appear at all in positive in that one. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. My obstacles pretty much just were that I needed to create a helper script file in order to use Vader. I hope you've enjoyed this and have a great night.